Looking at the audience, I could see this evening has been very heavy, and because most of you are almost sleeping. So I will keep it very tight, and if possible, to wake you up with some thoughts, because we've got to be honest. And I know after me, there are two speakers. So keep your energy, and I promise you I'll be short. I was very reluctant to take this invitation to review this journal, particularly for two reasons. One is talking about religion will challenge our intellectual limitations, because throughout humanity, we have tried centuries after centuries to understand what this phenomena called religion. And that pushes all our learning to a box, and we struggle to come out of the box. The second reason that I'm reluctant to take this topic is the inflammatory nature of this topic, which makes us somewhat reluctantly intellectually dishonest to talk on issues that are important when it comes to religious affairs, particularly religion, politics, and violence. We are very uncomfortable. So we try to manage our intellectuality in a kind of a diplomatic way. This story, I'll tell a story so that you can wake up. Nirmal knows this story because we have shared this many times. This is about Mullah Nasaruddin. You know, a 13th century Sufi scholar, wisdom man, if you want to call, from modern Turkey, a place called Konya, where also poet Rumi came from. And I happened to have the blessing of visiting both places. Mullah Nasaruddin was one night under a lamp, street lamp, searching for something very frantically. And there went a group of his friends looking at this desperate man, then asked, "Nasaru, what are you doing?" "Oh, my dear friends, I am looking for my key." Then, of course, you know how difficult if you lose your car key or home key, or for that matter, modernly your password, you know. So all friends got together to help him. And after a while, they were so tired because there was no progress in this. Then suddenly a friend asked, "Nazar, actually, where did you lose your key?" And Mullah Nasaruddin said, "Oh, I lost the key about 2 miles away in that darkness." So you know the reaction. They used some good words on him and said, "Why are you looking for the key here? You know, this is where I have enough light. This is comfortable for me to search here." When it comes to religious affairs and talking about religion, this is exactly what we do most of the time. We roam around, or modern term, we send our intellectual drones to hover around the most comfortable areas. But since we have a journalist on our panel, you know, in and day out, you have to report realities of religion and the religious practices and the failed affairs of the religions. I think, number one, this journal, I wish that this journal will not limit to that kind of intellectual comfort zones, but will be a pioneer journal which will ask, sometimes probing, sometimes disturbing, and hopefully at times challenging questions. Because the theme of religion is always complex, densely contested, and also it pushes us away from our traditional kind of be good camps. It is because the concept, ideology, the institution, and the practice, also socio-politics of the religion, always produces, as Professor Premakumara mentioned, drastically and diagonically opposing impacts. This is true about every society, every religion throughout humanity. The same religion which once promoted interreligious wars later becomes a healing bridge between those religions. A religion which justified slavery later comes out theologizing how slavery was bad and to ban it and to stop it. Same religions that paved the way human art, sciences, enlightenment sometimes comes back to destroy the same. So we have seen this dichotomically diagonal discourse that happens under the same religion, sometimes intra-religious ideologically. John Newton, former slave owner and slave master, converted to religious faith and wrote the famous, world-famous, amazing song, Grace hymn. William Wilberforce, who was the owner of the ships of the slaveries, later converted and argued against slavery in the UK and elsewhere. Martin Luther King Jr., who was a hard, vibrant religious speaker in the Southern Baptist tradition, used his religions for civic rights and the victory of the colored people in America.